and move right to left. And Lock Haven will wear the road black and move left to right. Pretty full house here at Gaylor Fieldhouse. The band is here. We are set to go with the final regular season game of the year, and it will be Eagles basketball to start things off. And there is Washington trying to make something happen. Dylan Scott for three, and it's a long rebound to Cam Young. Morton on the run. Milirons. Pichardo. Young. Morton for three. Back rims that. And the rebound tipped and grabbed by Griffin. Milirons for three. In and out. Pichardo there for the putback. Has it blocked from behind by Stewart. And Lock Haven will bring it back.
Pichardo with 6.6 rebounds a game does a good job on the boards for the Warriors.
Little pick and roll and the give to Kevin Coleman. Kevin Coleman has 2 Defensive Player of the Week awards, weeks 7 and 10. Lock Haven won back on January 11th, 76-67. It was the Warriors' lowest point output of the season. They shot only 34%. Griffin doesn't get the bounce, but draws the first foul of the ball game, and it will be on Dylan Scott.
Yeah, Blake Deegan, who averages 21.6 points a game, did not play in the game on Wednesday night when Lock Haven played Bloomsburg, and not in the starting lineup today. He is in uniform over on the far sideline, but he is someone that's gotten minutes and has been a starter for Mike Nestor.
1 of 2 for Griffin. Griffin earned himself a PSAC East Athlete of the Week in week 11. Of course, Cam Young, 3 defensive awards this year, and Lakeem McAlilly, 2 athletes and 1 defense. Washington hits the brakes. Good defense by Griffin.
Think a block maybe by Griffin.
And here's Morton. Little hesitation, a drive. Bounces off the defender, and it's rebounded by Kevin Coleman. Washington played just 2 games last year, so he's in his 5th year as a grad student, has 1,259 points in his career. Inside, little double pump by Coleman. He has the first 2 field goals of the ball game.
Had a huge game against the Warriors in the first matchup. 14 points, 14 boards.
Here is Evan Morton. What a job the freshman has done stepping in at the point guard spot. The 3 is off by Griffin.
Yeah, Devon Lee played in 10 games, averaged over 10 points in 25 and a half minutes a game. The redshirt junior from Harrisburg injured, and they had to reshuffle the deck as far as the point guard position. So Morton moves into the starting guard spot. Shamir Wilbanks in the second unit.
Yeah. Washington with the floaters, got it. Averaging 13.5 points a game, and it's an early 5-point lead for Lock Haven.
And with Lee out of the lineup, the Warriors had a week or 2 there. It was a little, they had to resettle things.
And that was really before the division came. Those 10 games were pretty much all, in that early part of the season. That's a travel on Stewart. Stewart closing in on 1,000. The senior has 900 points coming into this afternoon's game.
Jeff Wilson with now, I believe, his 11th 20-win season. He has 2 19-win seasons, 2 18-win seasons. It's the model of consistency. So, yeah, in the middle of the year when they've lost a couple of games, you think, oh, this year isn't as good as normal. Well, at the end of the year, there you are at 20 wins. You're right there where you want to be.
16th overall, 20-win season for the Warriors. Coleman with a floater. 3 early baskets for Kevin Coleman, and it's a 7-point lead, and we're going to get a line change for the Warriors. They'll push it inside and have it stolen by Dylan Scott. Here's Bryson Scott from the outside for 3. Got it. I don't know if Jeff Wilson is going to wait till the under 16 timeout. He's not one to panic, but he does call the timeout at 16:04, and he just shakes his head, and the Warriors will make that line change. It's a 30-second timeout. That will stay at 30? It's going to stay at 30. Or did it extend? I don't know. I have not been able to figure out the whole extend.
And they
will
just extended it.
And we will break with them. 16:04 left in the first half. 11-1 Lock Haven. Okay. Wow. We just got schooled by John Layton.
Yes.
You want it?
You got it.
Okay, so in the first half, if you are within 30 seconds of that timeout, so your timeouts are 16, 12, 8, and 4, but if you're at 16:30,
right,
12:30,
I understood the first half rules.
Under that, then it becomes the immediate timeout, so we won't have an under 16. That is the under 16.
But in the second half.
In the second half, any early called timeout becomes a full. So now we get that, anything within 30 seconds of that timeout. The Warriors with a line change. Terrell Pitts, 6'4" freshman from Trenton, New Jersey, St. Thomas Aquinas in there. We'll work them in as we go. And it is Pitts with the steal and taken right back by Bryson Scott. Lakeem McAlilly is in, the 6'6" senior from Mastery Charter in Philadelphia. 14 is Jaden Kelly, 6'4" freshman from Colonia, New Jersey. 22, Carson Howard, a 6'9" sophomore from Warminster and Archbishop Wood. And that's taken away by Lakeem. Look out. Get off the tracks when the train is coming, but he gives it off to Howard, who misses. Did we get everybody? No, Shamar Wilbanks, the 6'3" sophomore from Philadelphia West Catholic, and then an offensive foul is called on Lock Haven. It is on Coleman. That is his first and the second team foul. It's taken me a second. It's been a while since I've been here in Caleb.
Been a little bit. The pace is a little bit different than the high school game.
Right,
a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, you were since the 25th of January. Not that anyone's keeping score, but I'm, you know.
So I missed February.
I felt like we weren't quite together because we weren't all together.
Yeah, McAlilly inside. 1,923 points in his career. 295 away from Jonathan Robertson. It would take 16 games to get there, and that's a travel.
And there's not that many postseason games.
Yeah. Well, you'd have 6 in the NCAA, 3, that would be 9, 3 in the PSAC, and this one would be 10, unless he goes off. So 10 games, he'd have to average 30 points a game. Howard inside, bumps the defender and scores. Carson Howard had 10 the other day in the 105-83 win over Kutztown. Averaging 6.7 points, 3.2 rebounds. Howard, just a sophomore, will be a big part of this program next year. The 3 is short. Scott went down trying to buy a call that he wasn't going to get. Howard inside has that one knocked away by Coleman. Dylan Scott inside, and it's stripped away by Lakeem.
But he's standing outside when he touched it, outside the line, so it will be Lock Haven basketball. Yeah, and so you also look forward to the return of Devon Lee next year, just a redshirt junior from Harrisburg.
Right.
So there's only 3 seniors walked today, so a team that has 21 wins to this point will certainly have a lot left in the cupboard for next year. And then it's always exciting to see who Jeff Wilson recruits. We know one local recruit, right?
Isaiah Stewart gets the push off. Yeah, Adrian Brito from Pocono Mountain West will be coming here to East Stroudsburg. I think he'll fit well. He runs the floor well, and that is a big thing with this East Stroudsburg team. If you're a big guy, you better be able to run the floor. He can shoot the three. He can work inside. Yeah. He can handle.
Immobile post players need not apply.
Right. Here's Lakeen, gets pushed off the play, and it's rebounded by Coleman. It's a real physical game early on. Laquan Bird has come into the game, number 1. He is a 6'2 freshman from Philadelphia, and Father Judge. And that three is good. I believe that was Stewart, right?
Yes.
Who did that? It was Stewart who knocked down the three, his 44th on the year. Will Banks for 3, and he answers. Shamar with his 15th on the season did not score in the first meeting. Almost a travel by Washington. Bird leans in, and they'll get a foul.
You're looking for a reason why Lock Haven does well against these Warriors. As we said at the top, they've won the last 3 from East Stroudsburg and 4 of the last 5, is that they seem to handle the pressure of that press very well.
Jaden Kelly picks up the first Warrior foul. Bird misses on the first free throw. He's a 76% shooter. Mill Irons has come back in, so has Morton. Second one is good by Bird, his first point of the game. He had 14 in a win over Bloomsburg, 83-63. They get 45 points off the bench in that game. Howard backing in, good strong move, but he misses.
Yeah, he lost by Springer. Yeah, he lost his place on the floor there. Had to alter his shot when he went up.
Stewart for 3. He's got a second three-pointer. Isaiah Stewart with 2 threes. Gabe Springer, the 6'9 redshirt junior from Wallenpaupack High School, number 30, has come in for Lock Haven. Here's Cam Young. Young spins, turns, goes to the hook, gets it blocked by Bird, but with a foul. It's the first foul on Bird, the 4th on Lock Haven. And that'll take us to the under 12 timeout. 11:57 remains here in the first half. The Warriors trail it by 10, 18-8. Band in the house here at Kaler, and the Warriors find themselves in an early 10-point hole. Again, they are set in the number 2 spot. They will play here on Wednesday. It will be a 7 o'clock game, and we will have it for you here on BRC 13. Cam Young at the free throw line hits the first. That's his first point. He had 16 the other night against Kutztown. 1 of 2. Oh, he's going to sneak in there to get the offensive rebound, and then a foul. I think they called the foul on Springer. It's his first, so that's good hustle, as Cam Young knew that he had missed that shot. Young for Pichardo. Morton, and they'll swing it back around. Young gets grabbed by Stewart, almost got a tie-up. Here's Milirons with the 3 blocked by Stewart. Wow. Boy, he came flying out and got that block.
Yeah, what an effort. He, like you said, came flying from across the other side of the floor, gets the block, and then takes the ball away, and then stays in bounds.
Here's Idris Ali, who's come in, a 6-foot senior from Williamsport High School. Loyal sock. We saw him for a couple of years at Mansfield, where he scored 825 points. He now has 965, so he's 35 away from a career 1,000 points.
We saw his brother now with Millersville.
Yeah. Griffin inside forces his way in. The Warriors have been just short and just wide on everything so far this afternoon. Stewart will kick to Bird in the corner for 3. It's in and out, and the rebound is swatted out of bounds by Mike Knaus. Knaus, a 6'5 junior from Horsham. Archbishop Wood, one-time teammate of Carson Howard over at Wood.
One of these Philly Catholic leagues, but a suburban school.
Right there
on Street Road.
Young keeps it alive. Here's Cam on the outside. Couldn't get his feet set for 3. Steps up and hits a 2. That's the first field goal for Cam Young. It's a 7-point lead for Lock Haven. Ali with it. Ali splits the D, drops it off to Stewart. Stewart will kick it back outside. Now Stewart sets up for 3 and gets it. 3 3-pointers in the first half for Isaiah Stewart. Morton leans in, banks it in, off balance. Evan Morton with the basket, 1,000-point high school scorer, won a couple of state championships down in North Carolina. Bird bumps off Morton, has that come out, and they're going to get Springer on his 2nd personal foul. Here comes Lakeem back into the game, and Griffin will leave. Ramos, Young, and McAlilly, the 3 seniors who were honored before this afternoon's game. Lakeem with a foot on the line misses, and it's pulled away by Kevin Coleman. Here's Bird. Bird in the lane, has that roll off. Lakeem with the rebound for East Stroudsburg. Cam Young. Chardo. Morton. Milirons. Lakeem for a long 3. Got it. Lakeem McAlilly with 33 pointers on the season. Knocks down that one.
Against 82 attempts, so not a bad percentage. Came in at 36%.
Coleman gets tied up by McAlilly, and then McAlilly throws him down, and he gets teed up.
Let's take a look. Ties it up.
Actually, he didn't do it. He pulled away and went flying.
Yeah.
And they're going to look at that. They can look at that, I believe, and see whether or not, because who it was, that Stewart? Here's another angle.
It's
Watch
Coleman.
right here. Coleman, yeah. Right here, he's pulling away.
I mean, if they call him for clapping, but they could take, they should be able to take a look, but they're not going to.
So it's a technical on McAlilly, his second straight game with a T. And Stewart will hit the first.
Jeff Wilson not happy about it.
Stewart, an 81% shooter. Yeah, that's a case where he's not mad at Lakeem. He's upset at the official. Because again, it was, you said it was Coleman?
It was Coleman.
It was
11.
Coleman. It was Coleman who had
they
tried to rip the ball away and
ripped
turned
it away
himself.
and basically there was nothing to rip anymore, so he fell. And then Lakeem clapped. So if they were calling the technical on like a taunting situation, then
he didn't
did
clap
that. But
anybody.
yeah, he was walking away. So sometimes Lakeem is very guilty of it. This time, not.
Wilbanks for three. That's in and out, and it's rebounded by Coleman.
So by Jeff's team rule, he's not going to start on Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm. Coleman inside, lays it in. 8 for Coleman early on. Although I wonder if Jeff...
Unless he gives him special dispensation because he thought it was a terrible call.
That's a possibility.
Right? If it's a coach's rule, he can change the rule.
Yeah, it's his rule. Coleman will get called on the foul. It is his second. And that'll take us to the under 8. 7:34 remains in the first half. And it's Lock Haven with the 25-16 lead over East Stroudsburg.
Everybody's talking. Here's probably one of the more famous
Ball boys and
floor sweepers in the conference. That's the head football coach and former Harlan Hill winner in Division II football, Jimmy Terwilliger.
See that? Here are the standings. 1, 2, 5, and 6 are set. Westchester is set at 1. East Stroudsburg is set at 2. Lock Haven is set at 5. And Shippensburg is set at 6. Now, Millersville and Shepherd are playing each other. So the winner of that will be the 3 seed. The loser will be the 4 seed. So
3 will play 6.
3 will play Shippensburg.
And then the winner of that
4
game
will play Lock Haven.
The winner of that game would play Westchester. And
At
Millersville just took Westchester for all they can handle on Wednesday night. So, Warrior fans, if you want the Warriors to host the tournament, the path is this. Next Wednesday, a Warrior win and a Westchester loss would mean a tournament would be right here at the Kaler Fieldhouse next Saturday for 2 games, and then a championship game on Sunday.
Right?
It's happened 2 other times. Warriors were victorious in both of those.
Yeah. Ali, the step back 3 misses, and Wilbanks rebounds.
The Warrior women won the only time they hosted. So when the championship comes to Kaler, it's usually a pretty good outcome for the Warriors.
Yeah. It's it back to Young, right back to Lakeem, who puts it softly on the back of the rim and in. 7 for Lakeem off the bench this afternoon.
Well, it looks to me like Lakeem's been able to settle down a little bit after that technical foul call.
The one thing that Lakeem is within reach of is the 2,000 mark.
To be the second Warrior ever.
Mm-hmm. Here's Washington. Bryson Scott. Bryson to the baseline. Tosses it all the way through. Ali for 3 in the corner. That is his 11th on the season, and the lead is back to 10. Terrell Pitts is in there, the redshirt freshman from Trenton, New Jersey. And that one is taken away by Lockhaven. Here comes Washington. Now Bryson. Eli Washington. Bryson Scott for 3. That's off, and it's Wilbanks with the rebound. Shamar spots up for 3 and got it. Everybody backed off, so Shamar stopped and hit the 3. It's his second in the ball game. It's a 7-point Lockhaven lead. Ali will kick it out for Washington. Washington will put up the 3 and miss. And the rebound is going to be off of Springer and back to ESU. Dylan Scott is back for Lockhaven. Wilbanks, along with McAlilly, Howard, Pitts, and Kelly out there for East Stroudsburg, and an offensive foul on Lakeem McAlilly, and they're going to look at something here.
So this they want to look at, see if it's flagrant.
So they're going to check for the elbow to the face, so John Layton will come over, and they will take a look at this. They'll look at it, then we'll look at it.
So there you see the fellas looking at our monitor. Chuck just handed me that with a deep run, Lakeem could set a school record for games played. Now this would involve going through the PSAC playoffs next week and into the NCAAs, because he needs 5 more games played. Is that, you're counting today's game as a game played? He needs 5 more? Chuck C says yes. To tie.
We have an F1 foul on number 2. 2 shots in the ball for Lockhaven.
Now,
so a flagrant one on Lakeem.
I'm going to ask the question. I don't know the answer because he already has a technical. Is that F1? Could that be a misconduct?
I don't know. So let's if we can see this, look at the top of the screen, the middle, right there. Oh, right there. Oh, there it was. Okie dokie.
Legit.
That was it.
That part's legit.
It wasn't the first one, it was the second one. Yeah. So they're going to look, they're going to come look again. So they're going to play back one more time there.
Not sure what they're looking for now. Would it be time?
The other, flip it. Nope, the other way. There you go.
That's not an F1.
So they're taking a look at this a little more.
Now we have in recent years moved the monitor to more of the middle of the table, so there's less interference from spectators and such.
But that's
making
basketball.
their
we have
opinion
a
known,
little
but, yeah,
halo
we
here.
Put a little. We have the ropes around us.
13's going to shoot. He got fouled. That's why we're looking to see who got fouled. Okay.
So they were looking to see who got fouled, and it was Dylan Scott. So he will shoot because this is not a technical, it's a flagrant. So the guy who was fouled shoots, and that's Dylan Scott.
Well,
it has not been Lakeem's day. You don't want Lakeem getting tossed from this because I believe then he's out
for a half?
For a half. And in the grand scheme of things, I know they're battling for regionals, but in the grand scheme of things, you want Lakeem to play on Wednesday. It's a 9-point lead for Lock Haven. The Warriors have just not been able to get in a rhythm here. Dylan Scott with it. Scott spins. There's Bryson Scott, and he travels. So I don't know if you heard, our mics picked up a lot of things, much to the protestation of some of the people sitting around here. We saw that elbow.
Yeah. And it wasn't like coincidental contact.
Yeah. So, and Kelly steps out of bounds. And Jeff Wilson just shakes his head over there. Again, the Warriors were held to their lowest output by Lock Haven, 67. Right now they have 21, which projects to about 60-something, right around 60. Washington has it taken away by Terrell Pitts.
Good effort by Pitts.
Will Banks has it knocked away. Down to the floor goes Scott, and they'll get a tie-up. And that will take us to the under 4 timeout. Boy, we need a breath here. 3:51 remains in the first half. It's 30-21 Lock Haven. Becca Kaler, 30-21 Lock Haven. We did also get an explanation of the earlier technical. It was throwing them to the ground when they were in that held ball. So that is the call.
I think when John Layton goes and watches the replay, and I think he does do that. He lives in the area. Well, anybody can go and see on the PSAC Sports Digital Network the replay. That probably, I think maybe he'd like that one back.
And believe me, the officials watch these games. They want to do their best. They want to be right, and they want to, be able to get better. Oh, nice rebound and a layup for Bryson Scott. Boy, they've done everything right. It's the largest lead at 11 points for Lock Haven. There's Kelly, and Now Terrell Pitts. Jeff Wilson just trying to find that combination that's going to work here this afternoon. Nas Griffin sidesteps a defender, has the three in and out. Boy, that's the name of the day. Pitts gets that blocked, but Morton is able to recover. Morton for three. That one is off, and it's Springer with the rebound.
Well, if you're the Warriors, you want to close the gap a little bit before the half, make it a little more manageable.
The Warriors shot 34% in the first meeting, and you'd scratch your head at that. They're shooting 29% here. Washington with the turnaround. .220 left in the first half. Griffin with it, stopped.
Really good defense by Lock Haven.
Yeah, they have been good. Springer on the run, jams it. Gabe Springer, the redshirt junior from Wallenpaupack, at 16, a season high, with 8 rebounds against Bloomsburg the other day.
And this, Lock Haven coming out, opening up this lead and playing like they are, really taking this pretty full Warrior crowd out of it.
Yeah. There's Washington. Over here to Isaiah Stewart. Stewart will let
too close
Morton go by, yeah. Then he misses the jumper. Here comes Morton on the run. Morton, he'll get cut off by Stewart. Pitts inside for Griffin. That's Nasir's first field goal of the game.
Griffin was ready for that quick touch.
Springer again, and the foul. And then a technical as Springer got in the face of Evan Morton. So the basket is good, count that. And you have everything to kind of weed through. The foul is on Pitts, and then the technical on Springer, it's his third.
There you see it.
That's the foul.
Does a great job of breaking the pressure very easily. They set up the technical and then, or set up the dunk and then the technical foul after the play.
Yeah.
The Springer will shoot, right? Or no, first the technical and then Springer will get.
Yeah. Morton hits the first. Now, don't the Warriors get the ball after the technical?
This came up the other night, actually.
Or not when it's against a player?
This came up the other night, and I forget how it was resolved, to be honest with you.
Springer has 3 personal fouls. He'll try and complete the 3-point play. So I guess
think they
don't
play
get the
on
ball
from here, yeah.
Yeah. We missed that, and Cam Young rebounds. 1 minute remains here in the first half. The Warriors have already used a timeout, their use it or lose it, that they usually take here. Pichardo, Morton. Morton stops, and he's called for an offensive on the push-off. That is his first personal.
Morton shaking his head. Substitutions come in for Lock Haven.
Canals comes in. And that'll be a reach on Cam Young. That is his first personal.
So while the Warriors would have liked to have closed the gap,
that is the
Lock Haven
foul.
is expanding the gap.
Washington to shoot 1 and 1, and he gets the first. Eli a 79% shooter. And the second is in and out. 38 seconds remaining here in the first half. Here's Morton. Milirons will pull the trigger on the three and get it. He wants the foul. He won't get the call, but he does get the three. It's his 61st on the season. He's second in the conference at 45%. And then a travel at the other end. Well, the Warriors, after all this, can get this into single digits.
And the crowd slowly coming alive. So, with a full second half to go, I'd come back. Stay with us, because I think this one could finish.
Morton into the lane, changes hands and gets it. That's a great drive by Evan Morton. 2 seconds, one. Half-court shot is off the rim. No. John Layton asked if we wanted to say, no, I don't want that job. That's why I don't do that job.
I love the one I have.
I'll tell you what, I haven't lost a game in 30-some-odd years. And
nice
Morton for three.
Step back Morton, and Isaiah Stewart has come up a little bit gingerly walking. I don't know that there was contact. I don't
think so.
Stewart looked at the ref like, hey, help me out. Now, his coaching staff, they're not too worried. They're leaving Stewart out there to run it off. But
Warriors are going to put a little more full court pressure on. Bryson Scott along with Eli Washington, Kevin Coleman, Dylan Scott, and Isaiah Stewart on the floor for Lock Haven. They lead it by 9.
McAlilly in the lineup.
Stewart for three, got it. Isaiah Stewart with 4 3-pointers, 14 points in the game, and the lead is back to 12.
So his legs must feel just fine.
Yeah. Young, McAlilly, Morton, Pichardo, and Milirons, and that'll be a blocking foul on Eli Washington. It is his first personal.
The football team applauding their coach's efforts to come out and clean up whatever was on the floor there. I love how he owns it when he does that job.
Yeah. No job is too small, and you always do your best no matter what the job. Here's Washington. So Lock Haven continues to confound the Warriors offense. Oh, what a great back cut by Isaiah Stewart. Coleman on the assist. Stewart with 16.
And the referees blow the ball dead, or at least the inbound won't come in until the referee ties his shoe. He had a loose shoelace over on the far side.
So after the Warriors cut it to single digits, Lock Haven comes out with a couple of quick baskets, and they're back up by 14. McAlilly inside will get fouled by Dylan Scott. It's the second on Scott. It will send Lakeem to the line. This is the largest lead for Lock Haven. Lakeem hits the first. We're being told that they were up 15. Second one is off, so one of those numbers is wrong. Dylan Scott for three.
Left all alone, was able to size it up.
Boy,
knocks it down.
And now it is definitely the largest lead at 16. The Warriors have just never been in rhythm today. Here's Lakeem, a strong move, gets it tapped back to him. He puts it back up, falling away. Pichardo with a chance. Pichardo has it knocked off of him and out of bounds, and it will go back to Lock Haven.
Yeah, the Warriors looking for something to spark them. Certainly plenty of time in this ball game, but
Washington on the drive goes to the reverse. McAlily gets the block. Washington comes up with it. And then a whistle. And everybody got together over by the bench, so they want to clean that up first. McAlily will pick up his third personal. And here comes Carson Howard into the game, and Lakeem is going to sit for a while. Scott in for Coleman. Coleman, you know, that's the type of day it's been. Somebody got a hand on it. It got pushed back to Coleman, and he just forced it back up and in. Howard to the floor to keep it alive for the Warriors.
Does a good job to get it to Pichardo.
Yeah, Howard inside, and they'll draw the foul on Coleman. That's the third on Kevin Coleman. Howard at the line, 71% shooter. It's his first chance this afternoon. He gets the first. The sun has come out and brightened this place up. Howard hits a ball. I don't know if that's good or bad. Is it good when you get that sunshine and it lightens up that side? It's going to be a jump ball, and they want to make sure guys aren't falling on each other, and the arrow will give it to Lock Haven.
One of the few times that the Warrior press has actually rattled Lock Haven a little bit. You see Stewart not able to handle it on the inbound.
It's that pressure, the Warriors trying to force the issue here. And Stewart nearly lost it behind his back, but he's able to recover. All those little bounces and rolls are going Lock Haven's way. Stewart on the drive scores. Isaiah with 18. He already has 7 points here in the second half of the first 3+ minutes. Cam Young at the other end lays it in. 5 for Cam. And that's stolen by Young. And a blocking foul is whistled on Eli Washington. It's his second.
Cam Young couldn't get the basket to go, but a good steal by Young. A couple of good plays by Cam Young here in this sequence.
And it will send Young to the line to shoot 2. And now Stewart having a talk. Everybody talking to the officials here. 19 for...
Yeah, he was saying, hey, I just got hit in the face.
Yeah. Cam Young with 6.
What do we got?
They had the ball. That should be a technical. He already had the ball. No, he didn't get... I don't know how he got the ball. But then Stewart walked in. I don't think they gave him the ball. I think the ball ended up in the hands of Young. So 2 free throws for Cam. It's a 14-point lead for Lock Haven. And they'll go over the top to Bryson Scott. Now Scott hesitates getting across the line, and he loses it out of bounds on the excellent defense by Shamar Wilbanks.
I think the officials in this game have called technicals, right? They've called flagrants, but they've let a lot of the, as Chuck Cease will always say, the ticky-tack fouls kind of go, and that's, I think, what's starting to build a little bit of, animosity on the floor.
Yeah. What did they say? You can't call them all, so you keep doing it?
But then what will happen is I feel like the officials will then clamp down at some point, and then they'll start calling every touch.
Dylan Scott for 3. That's his second three-pointer. He has 8 points.
There you go. When the Warriors are trying to just chip away, a 3-point.
Yeah, the lead is 17. Young for 3. It's a 2. With a foot on the line, Cam Young, the jumper. He has 9.
So our astute folks have pointed out that Kevin Coleman is getting attended to on the athletic trainers table.
Yeah, with his head down for the moment. Scott for 3 misses. It's Wilbanks with the rebound and the Warriors run.
It looks like they are examining his arm or elbow.
Pitts on the drive has a block by Springer. They go to the floor again, and another tie-up will stay with East Stroudsburg.
There you get a look at Colleen Shotwell, the athletic trainer.
Working on that arm, and we will have our under 16. 15:05 remains here in the second half. 54-39, Lock Haven. (54-39), Lock Haven with the lead. It's been a great start for the Warriors on the diamond, and it's been a great career for one guy as well. Chuck?
Welcome back to Kaler Fieldhouse. I'm Chuck Cease. ESU baseball celebrated Coach John Kamansky's 500th win yesterday. The Warriors went and swept another doubleheader against St. Anselm today. So now wins number 501 and 502. And normally I'm wearing a red and black tie for ESU basketball, but I decided to go with a little baseball-themed tie to celebrate Coach Kamansky's 500th win. Back to you guys.
There you go, Chuck. They're still working on Kevin Coleman. Meanwhile, the Warriors will have the basketball.
Speaking of ties, the apparel ties, I wish I had a Hoosier tie today. I would have worn a Hoosier tie today in honor of the actor who...
Oh, yeah, Gene Hackman.
Who played in Hoosiers.
Terrell Pitts inside. He has his first basket, and then a foul after on Pitts as Washington's holding his nose. And they're going to look at this. See what happened after. Here's the basket.
There was no contact. Was there? No, I don't think there was contact.
Yeah, they're going to take a look at this. So they'll work on it, and then we'll see it again.
So they're taking a look. We're showing you something else while the officials are looking at that particular play.
And then we'll look at it after.
It's not often we get a quick look at it before, a little tease. But there looking at it, slow motion, different angles. From my quick view the first time, I didn't think there was contact, but our guys will show them everything that they have. Take a couple of looks at it. The officials look like they've seen enough.
Yeah, they're going to get a flagrant one on Terrell Pitts.
Well,
see,
so
he cocked the elbow. The question was whether he contacted him, and I guess they decided that he did. Here it is again. Watch, right?
Man,
his head jerked back well after it happened. Yeah, he put that elbow up there, and you know you can't do that. I mean, whether you're gonna get the call or not, boy, you just can't even go there. So it is an F1 on Pitts, and Washington will shoot. And Coleman over on the bench with his arm wrapped.
Not only wrapped, but iced.
Iced.
Wrapped, one thing. Iced, not coming in, back in at the moment.
He looks like he's just thrown 9 innings of baseball over there with that wrap, although nobody throws 9 innings of baseball.
I mean, in football, they take your helmet away. Then you know you're not going back in. But when they ice your arm in an ice pack and wrap it all up like that, he's not coming back in anytime soon. Nor at this point do they need him. I think for Mike Nestor, it's, hey, let's get ready for Monday for you.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going anywhere, and regionals isn't a big deal. Will Banks with the tip away. Will Banks will go in, lay it in, and get the foul. And that brings the fans back into it. Isaiah Stewart is called on the foul, and it's a 3-point opportunity for Shamar Wilbanks.
Well, the first move, try to get it to single digits. They're a few away from that.
Wilbanks, a 75% shooter, 21 of 28 this year.
I've liked how Wilbanks handles himself in pressure situations. Sophomore from West Catholic.
9 for Wilbanks. It's a 12-point game. It's very manageable for the Warriors. There's Eli Washington across. Stewart, little hesitation, drive, Euro, nothing there. Washington for 3, got it. Eli with his first 3-pointer of the game, is 26th on the season.
The ref just told Eli Washington, get up and knock that stuff off. In other words, he thought he flopped.
You give a little warning, but they can call that. Here's Howard inside, nothing there. Wilbanks, a head fake, a drive, drops it to Howard in the lane, who lays it in. Everybody went to Wilbanks, and Howard was right there. It's a 13-point game. Washington on the crossover, the drive, runs in to Cam Young, and Cam Young swiped it out of bounds. Here come Bird and Knaus into the game for the Bald Eagles. On the inbound, boy, they took a while to get it in. Bird has it. Now Stewart. Stewart thought about a super long 3. Knaus puts up the 3s, and Springer rebounds, and the Eagles will reset. Stewart, the pull-up at the baseline, misses. And Washington was out of bounds when he made contact. And it will go to East Stroudsburg. Here comes Idris Ali back into the game for Lock Haven. McAlilly is back for East Stroudsburg, and Lakeem drives and scores. Well, after all that, Lakeem's in double figures with 10, then Cam Young knocks it away. The handoff to Pitts is off, but right there is Nas Griffin to finish.
Mike Nestor wants to talk it over.
And just like that, the Warriors are within 9 and the fans on their feet.
It is extending.
It is a full timeout, so we'll break with them. 12:30 remains second half, 59-50 Lock Haven. Warrior band raising the roof. The Warrior team trying to do the same here. Ali in the backcourt against Pitts. Here's Springer. Knocked away for the moment by Lakeem. To the corner, Canals for three. Got it. Boy, every time they need a basket, they get one, and a lot of times
it's a three.
It's a three.
Takes it from 9 to 12.
Nas Griffin for three to answer. Lakeem comes flying in for the rebound. Lakeem at the baseline. Changes hands, goes in and gets fouled. And Lakeem will go to the line. Canals picks up his first personal. And McAlilly will shoot two, and even though that extended, this will be the official timeout. Let's go with them. Let's take a break. 11:42 left. It's 62-50. Lock Haven. The Warriors trail by 12. They've trailed throughout. Lock Haven scored 11 of the first 12 points of the ball game, and they've led by at least that much for most of the game. McAlilly at the line will shoot 2. He gets the first. Lakeem is 10th in the conference at 79.5%. Two free throws for Lakeem. It's a 10-point ball game at the 11:42 mark. Here comes the pressure, and they're going to get Naz Griffin for reaching in on Knaus. What was that? John Layton asked us if we wanted to officiate the second half. I'm like, no, thank you.
Not enough money.
He said
Not
double
enough money
pay.
in the
He said
world.
double pay. I was like,
Double
nope.
pay, not going to get it done. And a guy like John's been doing it a long time.
Yeah. Ali to the floor, slipped and fell, and he has it stolen by Will Banks. And Shamar just couldn't stay in bounds.
I don't know if that would have been Warrior basketball if Shamar just stayed out of it. You know?
Yeah. Inbound to Stewart. Out for Bird for 3. In and out. And it's pulled away by Cam Young. They can cut it back to single digits here again. Lakeem McAlilly has it. Lakeem to the baseline, gets held up by Knaus. Well, no, they're going to call this off the ball. It's on Springer. That is his 4th. And this will be 1-1 for Naz Griffin.
This combination the Warriors have on the floor, I think, is as good a combination as they can put together right now. The 5 they have all the ability to score. That will get Springer to the bench as Dylan Scott comes back into the ball game.
Griffin at the line to shoot 1-1, gets the first. He's a 72% shooter. The Warriors shoot 75%. It's to the left. Oh, he gave the little hip check to Griffin. As Griffin came by, 2 free throws for Nasir. And it's an 8-point ball game. That's as close as they've been in a long time. That's thrown over here. Scotty's in trouble. He does get it to Bird.
I don't know how, but he did.
And then Dylan Scott with his 3rd three-pointer. Again, just when they need a basket, they get one, and more times than not, it's been a 3. Young. That is a blocking foul. Stewart trying to steal that one, and John Layton was having none of it. Stewart picks up his 3rd personal. Who's shooting? Cam Young will shoot.
Mike Ramos set at the table to come into the game. Warriors trying to see if they can get him going here. Maybe he can contribute a spark.
Young into double figures with 10. And he's going to come in for the shooter. So Ramos will replace Young if Cam hits this free throw. And he does. 11 for Cam Young. And it's back to a 9-point game.
Get Cam Young a little break here before the final run. See if the Warriors can get it over that 9-point hump. I feel like the Warriors have been here several times at 9. Then, Lock Haven always seems to answer.
Ali, they'll double on him. They'll give it off to Dylan Scott for 3. There's another one of those. That's his 4th.
There it is.
14 points for Dylan Scott. And it's back to a 12-point lead. Wilbanks in trouble. Gets it to Lakeem. Lakeem drives down that baseline and has it knocked out of bounds. It will stay with the Warriors. We're at the halfway point of the second half. Wilbanks. Griffin spins into the lane. Griffin comes up a little long. Wilbanks for three. Got it! Shamar with his third three-pointer. And it's back down into single digits. Ali across against Pitts. Ali into the lane, gets it, and the foul. Boy, he went into the land of the Giants and got it done and gets the foul on Pitts. It will be the third on Terrell.
And this could be another three-point answer every time the Warriors get it to 9. Even though it's not the from the arc variety, it's the traditional style. Cam Young comes back in. This time for Pitts.
And Ali completes the three-point play. 971 points in his career. With at least one more to go. They are in. There's Ramos for three. He ends up on the floor, but Cam Young rebounds. Wilbanks for three. That's off as well, and Bird rebounds and runs. Now's with it. Now Stewart. And he has that taken away by Cam Young and ends up on the floor. Cam goes end to end. 13 for Young. And it looks like a cramp. He's got that leg stretched out. You hope it's not the knee. He's got that leg stretched out. Chuck's here. Chuck, you gotta. When we get Chuck in here, you have a report on Evan Morton.
Yeah, at the halftime break, they were working on him as well as Carson Howard working on the back of his legs. But Morton was having trouble stretching out his back, and Colleen Shotwell was having him bend over and touch his toes a couple of times to make sure that back would be loosened up. So it's going to be interesting to see how effective he is when he comes into the game here.
Colleen Shotwell
Colleen's
doing
here
double
helping.
duty, covering both teams, taking care of Isaiah Stewart right now.
See, that looked like a cramp. And then when you
Well, yeah,
stick it
because
up
if he
like
twisted
that,
a leg or a knee, it would be the other side that really made a little funny move. So hopefully it is just a cramp.
Yeah. Well, everybody busy today. He walks off under his own power, so they'll try and work that out. Meanwhile, Lock Haven will have the ball up 11. Canals can run the baseline. The Warriors just scored. That goes to Ali. Now Ali's in trouble trying to get out of there, and he does get it to Washington.
They've done a good job of breaking that press for the most part. A couple of times they've gotten caught, but
There's Ali. They switch on him. Ramos comes out. Dylan Scott. Dylan a step back with a foot on the line. Has a block by Pachardo. And here comes Morton, who's back into the game. He floats it in. Evan Morton with his first basket of the second half, cuts it back to single digits.
You want to bet me what happens next?
And a foul on Morton. That is his second personal. 2, 3, 4. That's the fourth. The fifth on ESU. That'll take us to the under 8. 7:45 remains, second half. 71-62 Lock Haven. Want to remind you, coming up at 5:30
Yes.
on Blue Ridge, if you're watching on the Blue Ridge system, 5:30 here on TV 13, we will have Marion and Tri-Valley in the District 11 AA Boys Championship game from Martz Hall.
The Mecca.
Yeah. What a great place that is. It's a 9-point lead for Lock Haven. They have answered every time in this situation. Washington on the drive, high off the glass, no, and it's rebounded by Young. He goes ahead to Nas. It was a little short. Washington's going to go and take it away and throw it into the backcourt where Cam Young was waiting.
Warriors would love to cash in here and cut this deficit.
Young at the baseline gets cut off. Here's Ramos. Now Morton. Morton, a little hesitation, goes up against Washington and misses, and it's rebounded by Dylan Scott. Dylan inside, doesn't get the bounce. Pichardo can't hold on, goes sliding to the floor, but out of bounds, and it will be Lock Haven ball.
Jalen knew he was the last to touch it, so he sold out, diving to the floor to try to save that, but when he did, he was out of bounds, so he kind of doubled down. He had knocked it out both times. But a good effort by Pichardo.
11 on the shot clock. Canals in a little bit of trouble here. Now Ali comes over. They try to double him, and he dribbles out of it. Ali forces his way in, misses at the buzzer, and it's rebounded by Young.
Second trip, the Warriors have a chance to cut the deficit under 9.
Griffin for three, it's in and out. Young there for the putback, and that won't go. And it's rebounded by Washington, and Washington is fouled, and then, who did they tee up? Did they tee up Young? All right. The Warriors are going to lose their entire starting 5 for Wednesday. Let's see what happens here. He reached for the ball, and then he went and punched at the ball, and that was the technical. I don't know if they'll look at a flagrant because he got hit in the face, but that was going after the ball. And now John Layton has called in both coaches.
So Washington will go to the line.
So Young gets a foul and a technical. Washington, I think, is going to shoot 4 shots. So he hits the 2 free throws. Oh, because
it wasn't a...
It's what... That was the 7th team foul. I thought it would be 1-1. I guess not. So those were the technicals. Yeah, and now it's a 1-1. Yeah, you got the 2 technicals and then 1-1. They have 17 fouls.
But they just confirmed that it's going to be inbound.
Okay. So the lead is 11, and again Lockhaven has answered. Under 6 minutes left here in the second half. Lockhaven already won the first meeting, 76-67, holding the Warriors to their lowest output of the season. Dylan Scott with the ball fake drive and foul. And it is on Terrell Pitts. That is his 4th. See, we've seen 2 flagrants and a technical on East Stroudsburg. We've seen a technical on Lockhaven.
Two technicals on East Stroudsburg. Was it 2 flagrants and 2 technicals?
2 flagrants and...
Because that last one was a technical.
2 technicals. The one on Lakeem and the one on Young.
And like you said, so now that's 2 guys that will start if Jeff continues with his rule, which I think is a good rule.
Yeah. Morton with it. Here's Pitts. Milirons. Lakeem trying to force his way in, and he puts it again softly on the back of the rim. 13 points for Lakeem McAlilly.
So good at knowing the English to put on the ball at the right time.
Knocks that one away. It's a 10-point game. Washington slides to the floor, keeps it alive. Pitts, though, takes it away. Here comes Evan Morton on the run. Morton, end-to-end, lays it in. 11 for Morton, and no, they did not call the foul. The ball just got away.
How did Morton end up on the floor?
It's an 8-point game. Ali with it. The Warriors need a stop. Pitts ends up on the floor. Canals misses the 3. Pichardo rebounds. Here's Morton. Hands off Pitts. Pitts spins into the lane, cradles, and will draw the foul. The foul is on Ali. It is his first personal.
Let's take a look on the arm. Pitts will go to the line.
He is 13 of 20 on the season.
So Stewart comes in after working out the cramp. Bryson Scott back into the ball game. Pitts trying to cut the deficit. And does.
He gets the second. It's a 7-point ball game. And then Morton knocks it away, and it goes off of Stewart trying to regain, and it will go back to East Stroudsburg. Mill Irons. That is off, and on the rebound, it's going to go on whom? It will be on Pitts, and that is his fifth.
Let's take a look. Here's the shot by Mill Irons. It comes off. I mean, both players collide. They call the foul on Pitts.
So Terrell has fouled out of the game. And the Warriors will take their time and decide to go to Cam Young. So it will be Pichardo, Young, McAlilly, Mill Irons, and Morton. This is usually their starting five. Washington with Dylan Scott, Stewart, Ollie, and Coleman. They missed the free throw. Morton for three. Got it. Evan Morton with his first three-pointer, his 43rd on the season, and it's a 4-point game. The last time they were within 4, it's an 8-0 run. They tried to go to Bryson Scott. Here comes McAlilly, alley-oop to Cam Young, who lays it in, and it's a 2-point ball game. It's the first time it's been this close since it was 2-0. They chipped, and then all of a sudden just swung for the fences here.
Let's take a look. On the break, McAlilly took a look and saw that he had Cam Young coming and lofts it to the basket. Young somehow wasn't able to catch and dunk, but was able to get it off the glass and in to pull the Warriors within 2, bring this crowd alive.
I think
3:34 to go.
The big one, too, was the Morton three-pointer.
Big three-pointer. You know, that kind of, every time the Warriors would get within single digits, 9, 8, there would be an answer from Lock Haven. That three-pointer shrunk the deficit to the best it had been to this point in the game. And then the two-pointer there by the Warriors on the break. Lock Haven has led throughout.
The Warriors are shooting 54% here in the second half from the field. And they have battled back to within 2. The Warriors have never led. Washington across. Morton all over him, and then Morton is called for the foul. It's the third on Evan Morton. And this will be 1 and 1. Actually, this will be 2. The Warriors are over the second limit, so a double bonus here for Lock Haven. So Washington will shoot 2. He is 5 for 6 from the line.
Washington went to the floor, and he pointed out that needed to dry that up, so that's what the delay is right here.
First free throw is good by Washington. He has 13. He's now 6 of 7.
Eli Washington has a pair of shoes at home very similar to that pair.
Yeah, just only on the other feet. Two free throws for Eli Washington. It's a 4-point lead with 3:20 left in the second half. Milirons with Washington all over him. Now McAlilly. Lakeem wants to back down. Instead, he turns, shoots, gets it. Lakeem with 15. It's back to a 2-point game. Under 3 minutes left. Ali with it. Now Washington. Dylan Scott. Washington against Morton. Morton falls behind him. Stewart, the floater, in and out. The Warriors with a chance to tie or take the lead with a 3. Morton. The trailer, Pichardo spins, lays it in, and gets the foul. The game is tied at 76. It's the first tie of the game, and the Warriors will go for their first lead.
Under control, spinning through the lane, gets the bucket, gets fouled, goes to the line.
Pichardo for the lead. It's the first lead of the ball game for the Warriors.
Well, Mike Nestor talked about the playoff atmosphere and how it was good for his club going into playoff week. He's getting the full experience. His club's getting the full experience as now they have the situation where they have to come now from a 1-point deficit. Look at this spin. Kind of looked for a second like he was going to be out of control, but when he got through splitting that little double team there, he was under control, was able to make the basket and then go to the line.
Lock Haven led by 18, 51-33 at the 16:41 mark of the second half. The Warriors chipped away every time they got to 8 or 9. Lock Haven would hit a 3. Well, the Warriors finally broke through that 8-point barrier, and they have charged through it to take the lead. Let's see if they can finish the job.
Now that field house that was dead, there's a buzz.
Yeah. Dylan Scott across. Here's Ali. Does Lock Haven have another one of those answers? Isaiah Stewart. To the corner, Ali. Ali on the drive, and a blocking foul is called on the Warriors. It is on Lakeem McAlilly. That is his 4th.
Of all the players on this Lock Haven roster, the one that has played in a playoff game here at the Kaler Fieldhouse is going to the free throw line right now. Idris Ali played here with Mansfield last year.
And he misses the first. This one for the tie, and we're all tied up at 77. We come to the 2-minute mark of the second half, 77 all. Here's Lakeem backing in and sneaking in behind is Isaiah Stewart to take it away. Washington with it. And he has it stripped by Cam Young, and Cam Young gets grabbed by Bryson Scott. That'll be the first foul on Scott. And Pichardo turned the official and said, is that an intentionally grabbed him? It's a mild protest because Cam Young will go to the line.
You see the takeaway by Young. And a reach around the back and then a little half grab with one arm in the front. I think the call was correct.
The Warriors retake the lead. Young will have one more. Both teams are in the double bonus. 2 free throws for Cam Young. 17 points. 7 of 8 from the line for Cam Young. It's a 2-point lead for East Stroudsburg. That, by the way, is their largest lead. And Young will go through Washington for the foul, and that is the 4th on Cam Young. But we are being told that they're being delayed out there because there is a game before the Marion District Final. Washington hits the first. He has 15. He is now 8 for 9 from the line. He misses the second, so the Warriors retain the lead with 1.5 minutes left. McAlilly with the rebound. And the Warriors want a timeout. Timeout with 1:22 left, and East Stroudsburg up 1.
Yeah, Lakeem McAlilly can only affect the game when he's in the game, and he's come on strong here in the latter part of this second half. That soft touch. And then watch this dish. Up to Cam Young for the finish. And then, hey, you're going to step back away from me. I'll step back and knock it down. That's what he does. So Lakeem McAlilly has helped lead this charge. The Warriors have taken the lead with 82 seconds to go.
Warriors with the inbound. Young will inbound. Young, Pichardo, Mill Irons, Morton, and McAlilly on the floor. McAlilly down the baseline, turns, scores. Lakeem with 17. The Warriors have their largest lead, 3 points. Lakeem with 10 points here in the second half. Stewart with it. Kicks it outside. Bryson Scott for the tie, and 3, no. And Cam Young rebounds for East Stroudsburg. Boy, those have been going down when they needed a 3. The Bald Eagles have gotten them until now. Mill Irons around to the corner. Pichardo travel. Gave a little shuffle when he did that head fake. That happens so many times, and if you really look, that's usually what happens.
So now with 29.1, Lock Haven needs a 3 to tie.
Stewart across, and they'll get a timeout. Timeout with 23 seconds left, down 3. Do they get a quick 2? The 3s have been working until that moment, but
right.
The 3s have been working.
Get a quick 2 and play defense, or get a quick 2 and foul. Can you stretch this 23 seconds out? (81-78), 23 seconds to go. Mike Nestor drawing something up from his front court after the timeout. This really pretty large crowd here at the Kaler Fieldhouse. I wouldn't say capacity, but it's a pretty full crowd for the most part, they've stayed. You couldn't blame them if they would have left at the point when it was an 18-point Lock Haven lead. If you're a Warrior fan, it didn't look good at that point. The Warriors find themselves up 3 with 23 ticks remaining in regulation.
Once again, if you're going to tune in the next 10 minutes or so, you tuned in now getting ready for that Marion Tri-Valley game here on Blue Ridge. The previous game is still going on, so that'll be delayed a little bit. Here's Washington, 20 seconds left. Washington's going to go for 2 on the drive. McAlilly knocks it away. And the Warriors just couldn't keep it in bounds. Cam Young got a hand on it, couldn't hold on.
14.8 to go.
Getting to the point where that 2 isn't going to help all that much. Ooh. Scott nearly lost it. Here's Dylan Scott. And now Stewart for 3 and the tie. Got it. We're all tied up. That is his 5th three-pointer. The Warriors are going to play it out. Cam Young with it. Puts it up at the buzzer and misses, and we're going to overtime.